Happy Sunday, happy Cinco de Mayo, and welcome back to the Wonder Years. So we are starting out in the Thomas's house, and unfortunately during this episode we're going to have Dennis's actual funeral. So Felicia is preparing for her in-laws who are coming from the country to the big city so they can be there for Dennis's funeral. And of course she's got to clean the house because she's absolutely sure her mother-in-law is going to comment. So even though Felicia doesn't have any family, Dennis has both his parents, plus he has an older brother, and his older brother's married and has a son. So all of them are expected to show up for the funeral. And actually, Dennis's father is a retired pastor, and now his older brother has taken over the church, and they have a very large Pentecostal church going out towards the country. So it's like about an hour and a half away from where Dennis and Felicia live. And it's kind of considered the competition for Pastor Ross's church. Pastor Ross's church is more of like a traditional Southern Baptist church, and the Thomas's church is more of a holiness church. Felicia goes to the Ross's church, so Dennis always went there too. The Thomas's, Dennis's mother always had a bad taste in her mouth because, Felicia took her son from the church, she feels like, and they plan to bury him in the graveyard at the Ross's church because it's closer to Felicia, obviously. And Dennis's mother was not too happy about that either. So the compromise is that they're going to have the services at the Thomas's church way out in the country, and then they're going to actually bury Dennis in the graveyard at the Ross's church afterwards. Reality was I was going to have him be buried at the Thomas's church too, because that just made more sense. But I got their church from Jasmine Reddit's, and the church is huge. So the church takes up the whole entire lot, and there was no room for a burial plot. So I decided that we're gonna have that church be further out, so we'll bury Dennis at the Ross's church so that Felicia can visit. So right now I have Dennis's family living in Henford-on-Bagley, which is supposed to be the country, but the church I actually placed in Willow Creek. So we're gonna use our imagination and pretend like the church is far out, even though it's really it's really just right next door. Eventually I'm going to probably move it to Henford-on-Bagley, but I just haven't rearranged things yet. So his family is coming from Henford-on-Bagley, and the setup of this world is supposed to be reminiscent of like Atlanta. So like they're living in Atlanta, like in the metropolitan area of Atlanta. I don't know, somewhere Decatur, Lithonia, Stone Mountain, somewhere like that. And the Thomases would be living further out, so they'd be living like maybe like Augusta or living in Macon or someplace like that. So that's how far away they'd be living. So they're not too far away, so they're in the same state, but they're far enough away that you wouldn't be seeing them every day. So this house is not that big. I mean, like, there's only 2 bedrooms, so we're not sure where all these people are going to be staying in this house, but she's absolutely sure that they're going to refuse to get a hotel. They're not that type of family, so they're going to, just pack in. Obviously, the parents are elderly, so they'll get Felicia and Dennis's room. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with the kid. He'll sleep on the couch maybe, or maybe he can. And then the brother-in-law and his wife, they aren't coming the first day, so they're gonna come like a little bit later. So for the first night, Felicia will spend the night in Devin's room, and then after that, they're just gonna have to figure it out. So Felicia was hoping that Devin might come. First of all, she's feeling terrible because she thinks she's coming down with a cold. But then also because her son really is still not really communicating with her, and she's not even sure if he's committed to coming to the funeral at this point. All right, so Dennis's parents have made it in, and Dennis's mother is already in the kitchen cooking. Felicia managed to clean up a little bit before she got here, but of course it was not up to her mother-in-law's standards. So this is Gert Thomas and Denton Thomas Sr. So the brother is Denton Thomas Jr. or DJ. And then of course Dennis. So there are all these D names. So we got Denton Sr., Denton Jr., Dennis, and Devin. And then Denton Jr.'s son is Denton the third, so his name is Denty. So like there are literally 5 people with D names. Okay, so despite the fact that Gert is constantly complaining about Felicia's homemaking skills, and besides being the retired first lady of the church, she's a homemaker. That's what she does. She cannot cook though. Felicia is attempting to do her yoga for the day around Gert re-cleaning up her house for her. And it looks like Denton Sr. has decided to take a nap, an impromptu nap on the couch. But Felicia's kind of glad to have the company. She was feeling kind of lonely lately with Devin gone. She's like, I'm so glad you guys came. He's like, yeah, but we don't need a hug. She's like, Gert is not exactly the most affectionate with her daughter-in-laws. She is very affectionate with her grandsons and with her actual sons, but she is not affectionate at all with her daughter-in-laws. I mean, Felicia's in good company because she doesn't like her other daughter-in-law either. She's quite critical of how she's performing her duties as the first lady of the church. Like, she's upset at Felicia for leaving the church, and she's upset at the other daughter-in-law for staying and taking her place in the church. All right, so she had a little visit from Claire, and they had a little bit of wine, despite Gert giving her the critical eye. And now Denton Sr. is making dinner while Gert comments because we are not letting her near the stove. Last time she made ham, it was a little tough. All right, so they're eating dinner now with a little bit of wine, despite Gert giving them a critical eye again. And Gert is vacuuming, even though the floor has already been vacuumed. She's like, this place just collects so much dust. I don't know where all this dust is coming from. Felicia, do you ever dust this place? I hope this place didn't look like this when my son was living here. Think in the big city there would be so much dust. All right, so they are having ham and potatoes. And Gert's like, so do you think you need that much wine? Didn't you already have 2 glasses? Felicia's like, did I? I mean, I don't know. I haven't really been keeping track. I know Jesus turned water into wine, but you don't need to drink all of it. Felicia's like, yeah, I haven't really been feeling good. Gert's like, it's probably a hangover. What did Felicia just burp in her face? Okay. Gert's like, where's the vegetables? I thought we were having greens with this. My husband and I slaved over this ham. I thought you were supposed to make the greens. Felicia's like, you never told me to make the greens. And I'm not really feeling that great. Is Felicia drunk? Because she's just laughing. Gert's like, I think it's just understood that you're supposed to make the greens with the ham. I mean, who eats ham without green? I'm just saying. Felicia's like, I can't even be upset at this. I'm so between feeling bad and drunk. And Denton Sr. is just like, has nothing to say. He's like, as long as they ain't talking to me, I'm good. He's like, dear, I'm cleaning up your plate. And my plate. You think you can handle your plate at the very least, Felicia? I mean, you don't ever clean up the dust. Okay, so that's Felicia's cue to... Did she just drop the plate? Oh my gosh, Gert. Alright, so it's time to head to bed. And you can, by the amount of furniture, I mean, suitcases that they brought. I mean, they might as well have brought furniture. Because it looked like they're moving in. So apparently somebody's having a party next door. And Felicia is like, what is all this noise? I'm gonna have to hear about this from my in-laws. Otherwise, she got herself a nice bath and she's getting ready for bed. And now she's calling Devin to make absolutely sure he's coming to the funeral. She's like, I know you didn't want to come to spend time with your grandparents over here, but you need to show up to the funeral. And Devin's like, of course I'm coming to the funeral. I said I was coming to the funeral. It's like, okay, are you sure you don't want to come over here and stay? Because, you know, your grandparents are over here and your cousin's going to come and your uncle. He's like, yeah, no thanks. I got classes. He's like, okay. Well, you know, call me anytime, Devin. He's like, Mom, I'm busy. You know, if I get a chance, I'll call you. He's like, okay. Oh my gosh. So she's gonna try to sleep with all this loud noise in this little kid's Star Wars bed. She's like, yeah. So she decides to go out on the couch because clearly that bed was not comfortable at all. So, okay, I forgot I put the real bathroom sounds mod in my game. So we get the privilege to listen to Felicia spill her guts in the bathroom. She's still feeling terrible. And that wine didn't help. But the one good thing about having her in-laws here is that Denton Sr. is able to fix things kind of like Dennis used to. So he's able to fix this dryer, which is on the fritz again. Baby, I love it when you play Mr. Fix-It. It's so hot and sexy. Why don't you put your dentures in so we can spend some time together? He's like, do I have to put my dentures in? She's like, baby, you can sprinkle in my honey pot either way. But put your dentures in. Alright, so Felicia's making breakfast this morning while Denton Sr. worries about the news. He listens to the local news every morning so he can gripe about the world these days. He doesn't even live in the city, but, you know, it still affects him. Besides, he has to worry about the market. It's like, if I had money in the stock market, I'd have lost it. It's like, maybe I should play the lottery. Like, darling, what do you think about me playing the lottery? Alright, so Felicia's brother-in-law and his family are arriving today. And Denton Sr. went out to greet them. You know, he had to get his mind off the news. And so this is Denty. And this is Denton Jr.'s wife, Kitty. and Gert is already in a bad mood. She took one look at Kitty and she was in a bad mood already. Alright, and here comes Denton Jr. He's coming to greet his mom. He's like, hey mama. So what are the sleeping arrangements looking like around here? She's like, I don't know, but me and your dad got the bed, you know, Yo, daddy got a bad back. Felicia's like, so you guys can settle in and I'm gonna be back in a little while. I'm going to a yoga session. Gert's like, not that heathen yogi stuff again. That's why you need to come to our church. Is Denton Sr. asleep already? Alright, so Claire's come with her to the yoga session. So the yoga session is in this new yoga studio that Felicia found. And it's kind of shady because it's in somebody's house. So that's why she got Claire to come with her. Claire's like not really into yoga, but she agreed to come, because Felicia's had such a hard time since Dennis's death. Claire agreed to come to support her since yoga is kind of like the one thing that's kept her, sane. So are they over here on the couch arguing? She's like telling her the story about how they got here and how she had to clean up the house. She's like, there was so much dust. It's almost as dusty as your house. Kitty's like, dusty? I have a maid that comes to my house I don't know what you mean by that. We pay him a lot of money. She's like, see, that's why it's dusty, because you can't even clean up your own house. Gert's like, what's your purpose? I've never met a wife that can't clean a house. It's like, but I love my denti. I'm giving you a piece of candy. It's like, okay, Granny. I mean, they are always giving this kid candy. That's probably why he's all over the place. And the only reason why you're with my son is for the money. Is Denti even his child? She's like, why would you even say such a thing? So there's like this long question of whether Denti is actually Denton Jr.'s child, since he looks nothing like Denton Jr. All right, so they're at the yoga studio now, and Claire is drilling this woman because, she's a lawyer, and she's like, what are you doing running a yoga studio out of your house? And Felicia's like, don't worry about her. She's playing the psychologist, the counselor. She's like, don't worry about it. We just came to check things out. I heard really good things about you. And the woman's like, oh, yeah, so we really specialize in wellness for the whole entire body, mind, and spirit. Everything is all natural. My husband is a naturopath. Claire's like, okay, so what kind of services do you offer? And is he a licensed naturopath or is he just a quack off the internet? Once they're alone, Claire's like, these people just sound like quacks off the internet. Are you sure about this, Felicia? Felicia's like, I've heard good things about these people, and I'm really into, natural. Eating healthy and the herbs and vitamins have helped me with my, depression since Dennis's death, and the yoga and everything. And I just think this will be a good thing. So the woman Kenya has gone in to get her husband, who is, the leader of this yoga studio. And so she's telling him, I found a woman. She's really interested in your services and our lifestyle. And the other woman, Molly, is like, oh, is she interested in every part of our lifestyle? Kenya's like, well, I like her. And she's a psychologist and her husband used to be a lawyer. I think she'd make a good addition. Kenya's like, I'm sure it won't be a problem. And Molly's like, because you're so irresistible. And so Claire walks in. She's like, are you guys hurrying up or what? Then she's like, wait a minute. I thought you were married to Kenya. All right, so after that weird encounter, Claire was a little bit turned off, but she didn't get a chance to talk to Felicia because the yoga session has now started. So Elmer Brinson is the a leader of the yoga studio. So he's leading this session with his wife and his girlfriend. And Claire's like, I'm not too sure how to feel about this. She's like, how am I supposed to be relaxing this creepy place? She's not even faced the right way. I mean, I think yoga's supposed to make you feel less tense, not more tense, Claire. Claire is like, the only things that make me feel less tense are wine, work, and my husband. Definitely not this yoga stuff. Yoga is definitely not doing the job. But she's trying. She's like, I'm trying for my friend. I mean, this is a nice peaceful place to do yoga. It looks out over the bay. Really sunny. I mean, Felicia's really... She feels this session was a very enlightening session for her. So she's going to do the next session. Claire, however, is like, I might sit that one out. Might set this next session out. Claire is not happy. She thinks she pulled a muscle. She's like, never again. I will never do yoga again. Time to go to work.
People change, feelings change too. Never thought the circumstances would have changed you. You said you never traded no, and I believed you when they told me don't. But either way, you're still invited in again.
That last session was even better than the first, so she wants to go over to thank Elmer for, you know, his enlightenment. He's like, nice to meet you. I'm Elmer Brinson. She's Felicia Thomas. Nice to meet you. He's like, I heard about your husband. I'm so sorry. I mean, you must be going through it. It's like, yeah, it's been really rough. He's like, we'll help you through. Anything you need, we got you. If you need us to come to the funeral, anything, we'll be there for you. We want to support you. We're all about the wellness of, the health and growth of, and supporting the mind, body, and soul. Felicia's like, wait a minute. Did he just kiss that other woman in front of me? Isn't he married to Kenya? Like, what is happening? She's like, that was weird. Should I go tell Kenya? Like, what just happened? She's trying to make up her mind about whether she should go tell Kenya that her husband's cheating on her with the other woman in class. Like, and meanwhile, Elmer is enjoying himself in the yoga studio. She decides not to she's like, I'll talk to Kenya later. Maybe I should discuss this with Claire first. You know, I'm a little overly emotional. Maybe I read the wrong thing. You know, maybe they're just like really comfortable with each other, good friends, and maybe that's his sister or something. You know, you just read it all wrong. You know, but they seemed really friendly, and I really enjoyed that yoga session. So hopefully it's nothing messy. So back at home, things are getting more and more tense by the second. Denton Sr. is attempting to break up another fight between his wife and his daughter-in-law. She's like, get out the kitchen. My husband's about to cook. She's like, I don't understand that hussy's purpose. She can't cook, she can't clean. She barely does anything for the church. Denton Sr.'s like, honey, just let it alone. It's not our business. She's like, it is our business. She's taking care of my grandson and she's my son's wife. And why is she cheering that he spilled the... She's cheering that he just dropped the thing on the floor. Alright, so dinner has been served, but there's not enough room at the table. So Kitty and Denton Jr. are gonna sit in the living room. She's like, I didn't really want to sit at the table anyway, cause your mama just about to say something slick again. She ain't about to get my wig tilted. Denton Jr.'s like, you know how my mama is. I don't know why you over here talking to me about this type of stuff. You know how she do. Mama is mama. Alright, so dinner's over and Felicia is going to clean up. She's like, since you guys cooked, I'll do the cleaning. Meanwhile, Denton Jr. has snuck outside to smoke himself a cigar. He knows if Felicia sees him, she's gonna yell at him. There's a no smoking rule on her property. I think there was even a sign. Can't get no peace around here. At least the neighbors are done partying. Alright, so they put on a little bit of PBS Kids for Denton Jr. And he's trying to explain what's going on to his grandfather. Meanwhile, Gert is vacuuming the floor again. The dust is getting to her. So, there is nowhere for Felicia to sleep inside since the little kid is sleeping on the couch, and now her brother-in-law is taking Devin's room, and then her in-laws are taking her bedroom, so she's sleeping on the lounge outside apparently. And apparently Kitty did not get the memo about Denton Sr.'s bad back. So she is in the wrong bed. And Gert had to tell her, nope, excuse me, but I think you misunderstood. But your room is down the hallway. This is our room. You don't see our luggage in here? What in the world? What is happening? Kitty's like, well, I don't know. Denton Jr. told me to come in here. Gert's like, don't try to blame my son. It's all you. You're a bad influence on him. We know about his past, and it's all you. Till he woke up and got on the straight and narrow. Too bad he brought you with him. Who is in the bathroom again? Oh my god. Who is in the bathroom? Anyway, she got rid of Kitty, so she's getting in the bed. And Denty is gonna sleep on the couch, so his father has to move. And Denton Jr. is going in the bedroom with Kitty. So they apparently have decided to take advantage of this vacation. I mean, they forgot about the fact that his brother just died. If nothing else, that yoga session definitely helped Felicia sleep through the whole entire night. This is the first time that she's been able to sleep through the whole entire night without like drinking a whole bottle of wine or using some melatonin or something. So she's feeling a little bit less gloomy. I mean, today is the day of Dennis's funeral, so she's gonna make some breakfast Oh my gosh. I just realized what that noise was. Gosh. No, Denty is not going to school. And I actually put Wicked Whims in my game and I forgot. So, yeah. Anyway. Alright, so Gert is vacuuming the floor again. So Felicia is trying to decide if she wants to come out in the living room and try to do her yoga. I mean, it's not that peaceful with Gert vacuuming. I don't know how Denton Senior is sleeping through this. I mean, I'm guessing he's used to it. I don't know.
Oh, it's the name.
And Kitty has decided she's going to be helpful by putting the food in the refrigerator. She's like, it is your husband's funeral, so, you know, I can help out a little bit. She's like, how you feeling, honey? He's like, after that morning session, I'm feeling good. She was like, I was hoping that was going to be a therapy session for you. I mean, I can't cook or clean, but you know, like Cardi B says. Apparently, Denty is over here extorting his grandparents for candy. I mean, how much candy does he have? He has 15 pieces of candy? That kid needs no more candy. He's going to be bouncing off the walls. She's giving him more candy. All right, so we're at the Thomas's church in the middle of the country. And as you see, it's like a really huge church. Dennis actually has a fair amount of friends, but none of them actually came to the funeral. I think only because only Felicia's friends came to the funeral. I filmed this multiple times. That's why it took me so long to actually get it out. So I'm not even trying it again. I think like when you, because it's not I use the Mortem mod, and so it's not an actual event. It's just you show up and then they summon people to the funeral. So I think they only summon Felicia's friends instead of Dennis's friends. So maybe I should have just made Felicia friends with all of Dennis's friends and they would all come. But instead we're going to say, because the funeral... Why are these people being so loud? Denton Jr. is supposed to be giving the eulogy and they are literally just talking over him, singing. Somebody put the music on. This is just ridiculous. Okay, we're gonna act like people are actually listening to the eulogy. Stop asking questions. He's over here asking for an allowance. Why, so you can buy more candy? Well, at least Devin showed up. Can we at least put on some blues music? Why are we listening to country music? Now, we know these people are country, but they ain't that country. Alright, so we're gonna let Felicia sing. I don't know if Felicia can sing, but this is her husband's funeral, so who's gonna tell her she can't? Clearly it's gotta be better than Denton the third singing. Okay, maybe not. And the casket actually had shown up, but when for whatever reason, I could not make Denton Jr. give the eulogy behind the podium and with the casket present. So anyway, we're already at the part where we're now going to engrave his headstone, and they're going to use that as the reference to, or use that to mourn him. Since I couldn't get the casket to stick around, we're going to pretend like the headstone is the casket, and so that they can mourn him. So Janae and Claire came too, and Devin is ignoring Janae like she's not even there. Janae's ignoring him back. And also Felicia's new friends from the yoga studio came as well. She's like, I didn't really think y'all were gonna come. She's like, of course we're coming. Like my husband said, we're all about supporting mind, body, and spirit, Felicia. She's like, so, I think I need to tell you something about your husband, but I'll do that later. I just don't think this is the most appropriate time. Claire's like, yeah, why don't you hold on to that for a little while longer, Felicia. All right, so there's a large banquet room in the back of the church, so we're going to hold the repast in the banquet room at the church. Well, they had hired a caterer, but apparently the caterer just made sandwiches. I don't know what this is. Sandwiches and what's on Janae's plate? That looks like crackers and pickles. Who is passing gas? Oh my God. All right, so Felicia is attempting to introduce Devin to Surrounded by Grief. A memorial service is about honoring the memory of a lost loved one and learning to accept their departure from this world. But the air surrounding this event is still heavy with grief and sorrow. If Devin can make the most of it by overcoming this deep melancholy with the help of his friends and family gathered here, he may be able to rise above the loss and finally reach a peaceful closure. Devin's like, I'm just here to honor the memory of my dad. I don't want to hear about any of this new stuff you have going on. His mom's like, I'm just trying to introduce you to my new friends. He's like, well, it's nice that you have new friends, so maybe you can leave me alone from now on. She's like, Devin, that's not even why I'm talking to you about this. I just want us to be part of each other's lives still. He's like, yeah, okay. He's like, okay, Mom. But I still don't want to meet your friends. I'm sorry, Felicia. I know it meant a lot for you to introduce your son to what we've done for you. Felicia's like, yeah, besides the cramping and, the bad diarrhea, those herbal recipes that you gave me helped a lot. Kenya's like, I know, and perhaps one day we'll be able to help your son, but for right now, we need to work on continuing to help you. And she's like, well, you helped me a lot through the funeral, that's for sure. Devin's like, hey, Janae, how's it going? Janae's like, hey. She really doesn't have anything else to say. Janae's like, did he really just say hi to me like this is a normal day? And nothing happened between us. She's gonna go over and comfort his mother. She's like, well, call me anytime. In a really strange turn of events, Felicia had a daydream that Dennis appeared to her in the church to say goodbye. And there was a lot of weird music going on in the background. She's not sure why there's a rabbit in the middle of him, and she can't understand anything he's saying, but she could feel his presence. And she understood that he said that he's going to miss her, but she needs to live the rest of her life, and they'll see each other on the other side. She's happy that she got to say goodbye to him. Devin also had his own moment of closure after the funeral. Both Janae and Felicia are getting over the loss of a Thomas man, and life goes on for both of them.